Wild West days of the internet were an exciting but disturbing time. In its infancy and even until recently, it birthed many rabbit holes and shock websites that are probably responsible for our desensitized state. But what's even more disturbing than the content itself is the communities that thrive around it. Let me introduce you to a member-only forum that thrived in the early 2000s called Bugshare. From the name, you may already have some idea of what this website is, but let me explain. Around 2007, Bugshare popped up as a member-only forum for homosexual men who were interested in bug chasing. Now, I didn't know there was a term for this or people even interested in it, but as Wikipedia tells us, bug chasers are those who eroticize HIV infection, especially through the intentional pursuit or intended pursuit of infection with the virus. And that's exactly what Bugshare was created for. Though the site is no longer active, I found a few old screenshots of some of their discussions. Some of the posts are sickening, to say the least, including intentional infection on what they call negs, meaning negative HIV status. One user in particular was especially disturbing. In his post, he describes 3 ways of posing up unsuspecting negs. Despite him claiming his first time infecting someone was an accident, and admitting that he felt genuinely guilty, he goes on to claim it started a fetish for him. The user goes on to say over the years he's infected hundreds of negs with his first method, which is tampering with protection and targeting those who are only interested in safe encounters. The second method is outright lying about his status, chatting up someone online, seeing the person at least 5 times, waiting until they tell him they've turned positive, and in his own words, he says, "Oh God, how did that happen? Do you think I should get tested too?" He goes on to say, "Thank God for chat rooms. They can't see how much I'm smiling." The third method is horrifying and involves forcing a person into the encounter. Recounting a specific encounter, he describes how he and a friend pushed their victim's face into the mud, urinated on them, and once done with their act, told him they were positive. I can't even begin to imagine how that person would feel. There's really no words to describe the utter pain and anguish of falling victim to something so horrifying. But though there are disgusting people like this user, strangely enough, others are willing and consensual in the act, apparently partaking in conversion parties. User The Dream writes, "Am going to a conversion party in November. I wish it could be today. After, I'm joining the group to be a giver-gifter. The givers take no meds, so I will develop full-blown AIDS. Am interested in chatting with guys who think the same as me." Others post of how hard they are finding it to catch HIV and the lengths they are going to for a positive status. One user instructs others to go to bathhouses, drop all standards and allow as many encounters as possible to increase their chances. That's about as far as I'll go into the website. There's some truly crazy stuff on there involving blood, needles, and all types of other things. But even more sickening is Violent Desires, a dark webpage allegedly used by pedophiles and those who fantasize about violent sexual activity. There is debate as to whether this website was real or just fantasy, but some users have confirmed many real videos and photos circulated the forums until it went down. However, not much other than screenshots can be found, and I wouldn't visit this website if it were up. I did find one user claiming to be a Violent Desires user on Reddit, confirming he viewed it for pleasure. The user spoke of videos produced by convicted pedophile James Bartholomew Husky, who distributed videos for years, ending up on the Violent Desires website. The user goes on to say that many of those who frequented the boards may not have been actively participating in their fantasies, but you could gain access to VIP boards by proving you had done harm to a child. The poster is upfront with his thoughts and openly admits he's a monster, however his motives for visiting the website seem to elude even himself. It would seem, if we believe what the user is saying, outside of his sickening fantasies, he lives a normal life and could be described as a normal university student. Moving outside of the dark web and old archived websites, we have Cute Dead Guys. This website is still up and running, though the name itself gives it away. This site is full of graphic images categorized by their cause of death that features cute guys. I mean, within a few seconds of being on this website, I found a video of a Mexican cartel cannibal. The discussion boards on this forum have a sub-forum called Necrophiliac Entertainment that covers necro stories, pictures of living men who users think would look good dead, and much more. There's even a personal ads section full of necros looking for other necros or others to play dead in roleplay. For elite members, there's a secret room for them to access their top exclusive material, so I can only begin to guess what happens inside there. This has to be one of the most disturbing websites I've found that are currently online and thriving with the community. I mean, there are places like Documenting Reality that covers gore and gruesome content, but the way Cute Dead Guys sexualizes this stuff is terrifying. It's really hard to go into any more detail about these websites without fearing for my channel, and most people probably wouldn't want to hear it. But after looking into these websites, it left me wondering. I'm only scratching the surface. There's 3 websites I found in maybe a few hours, but there's probably hundreds and thousands of these sites that aren't so easily found. And of all those communities and all those members, what percentage of them are people we've come across in our daily lives?